Air India crash report reveals cockpit confusion over fuel switches.
Breaking news. An Air India flight has shortly after takeoff. Authorities.
A preliminary investigation report into last month's deadly Air India crash has revealed moments of confusion in the cockpit after the aircraft's critical engine fuel cutoff switches flipped almost simultaneously, cutting fuel to both engines shortly after takeoff.
Why did you cut off the fuel? I did not cut off the fuel.
We're losing altitude. Pull up, pull up.
I can't. It's not responding. Why did you cut off the fuel? I did not cut off the fuel.
According to India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, AAIB, the aircraft lost thrust and began descending soon after leaving the runway, triggering the deployment of a backup ram air turbine, a sign of complete engine power loss. In the cockpit voice recordings recovered from the black boxes, one pilot can be heard asking the other why he cut off the fuel. The second pilot denied doing so. Investigators did not clarify which pilot made which statement, nor who issued the final Mayday distress call. The commanding pilot, Captain Sumit Sabharwal, 56, had over 15,600 flight hours and was also an instructor at Air India. His co-pilot First Officer Cleve Kundir, 32, had more than 3,400 flight hours. Experts note that the design of the fuel switches makes accidental movement highly unlikely. The AAIB report observed that the switches flipped to cut off roughly a second apart, the typical time it would take for a human hand to flip them one after the other. No mechanical fault or external emergency was identified that could have justified turning the engines off. The aircraft managed to briefly gain altitude, reaching about 650 feet before losing power and crashing into a nearby building after striking several trees and an incineration chimney. At the crash site, investigators found the switches back in the run position with evidence suggesting the engines briefly attempted to restart before impact. The incident is a significant setback for Tata Group, which has been working to restore Air India's reputation and modernize its fleet since acquiring the airline in 2022. In response, Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu urged the public not to rush to judgment until the final investigation report is complete. Both Boeing and GE Aerospace have pledged full cooperation with the investigation. The US Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board are also assisting, though the preliminary report did not call for changes to Boeing 787 operations worldwide. A final report is expected within a year. Meanwhile, Air India expressed its condolences and reaffirmed its cooperation with investigators, but declined further comment. The tragedy comes at a time when India is seeking to become a major global aviation hub. The crash and ongoing scrutiny of Air India's operations, including separate regulatory probes into Air India Express, pose fresh challenges to these ambitions.